question was sort of like I was thinking of using some maxims of law. I'm talking about it might be because they're real short. You know, if you really look at maxims, there's like 3 or 4 words. That's it. It's like exactly what you're saying, but you know, just use your. You know, that's what I was thinking. I mean, just might be put across my mind, but it doesn't have to be. But I kind of like it too. You know.
Oh yeah, I love the maxims of law like that. But it's so funny. Like you got to be careful with any kind of maxim. It's because there's always a yes and a no, because you've always heard that maxim. Like, he who hesitates is lost. But then in the same breath is, look before you leap. So which one is it? Should I look before I leap? Who hesitates? Well, I should just jump.
Yeah.
So the trick, what I tell people, it's not so much the maxim, it's just the way our great-grandpa used to pass things on real quickly to us. And they gave us these little maxims to live by. But it all depends on what is the time, the situation, and what is going on in that particular moment in your existence on this planet. So he was just giving you some advice. You don't have to do it to the letter. It's like when you say, oh, look at the Constitution says this. No. That's just really, really good advice that people 2, 3, 4, 500, 5,000 years ago wrote. But obviously, you're going to take and choose what you want from it. It's like a menu. So I'll take that advice. I don't need that. Forget about the Section 3. You know, who needs Section 7? I don't care about that. I'm going to live my life based upon these 3 sections. I'm done.
Well, I look at it as a trespass. That's why I look at everything. If they're trespassing on you, then there's where you got a claim. If they're not trespassing on you, then that's, you know, they're not.
Right. But they might not be aware of the trespass. So that's why you always give them the option to set it off. And that's when you guys start listening to Dallas guys and stuff like that. Those guys are right. They're trying to do going home, man. That's right. He did fine. He explained a lot to you folks about setting off debt. And they didn't get down to where I get down to it, but I'll just let their stuff ride for right now, you know, because that's basically the whole trick. Somebody trespassed on you. And like now, like I have a case filed in federal court. The clerks tampered with my claim, so now there's a trespass on the case. And to me, there's only 2 things that in law that truly stand, is trespass and trespass on the case. So you just make your claim that somebody trespassed upon you, and then whatever the trespass is, I don't care. They stole your donut, I don't care. Or they stole your Lamborghini, I don't care. You know, they took your kid, I don't care. It's a trespass. Everything's a trespass. It's a debt. You believe somebody owes you something for doing you wrong. And then when the clerk interferes with your stuff, or the clerk of the court, and she don't reel him in, then you talk to the chief judge, and they don't reel you in, then you file a claim against them for trespass on the case. But to me, there's only 2 things. The torts. To me, there's only 2 torts. Trespass on a case. If you're interfering with my right to move my claim, why are you stopping me? You know what they did was wrong. And if you don't believe what they did was wrong, still, it's not up for you to decide. That's for the jury to decide. Because still, thank God, we live in a country that recognizes that all state courts are common law courts. And all common law courts, you can move a claim by a trial by jury. So why are you infringing or it's not infringing, interfere with that right?
Well, what they're doing to me is there's fracking up there. There's a tremendous amount of fracking. You know, they go horizontal drilling and all that. And if you don't agree to take their contract, they'll just force pull you into some kind of 640 acres or whatever, and then they're able to frack. Well, I have 10 acres and I have a pond on my property, and I never agreed to any contract. But they're going to put a well right behind my property on 60 acres of another gentleman's property, which will definitely impact my property. So I've been thinking about how to, you know, do this. And your ideas, you know, sound very feasible to what I want to do. So that's where I'm at right now.
So like I said, thank God, like I said, when you go to, you know, thank God we have something, we can support ourselves with this country. See, the Constitution is a lovely document. You know, it's something I use to support my claim. It's like I said, you support the foundation of your house with bricks. And thank God somebody was smart enough to take the time out. They didn't have to do this. They weren't getting paid any money, just like somebody like me. They weren't getting paid no money to write the Constitution. I mean, I didn't see anything and say, well, hey, if you come here and write the Constitution, we'll give you $1 million a day. These guys did it out of the kindness of their heart. They didn't have to do this. They wrote a Constitution. So to me, it's a lovely document. They weren't paid guys to do this. So they wrote this thing. They all put some time on it. I said, you know what? Let's get this stuff going, and let's see if we could have a nice, happy land so we don't have to have civil wars every 10 years like they were doing over in Europe. So they said, let's write a nice document, a blueprint of what we should or should not do to each other. And, I mean, it was a lovely document. And like I said, thank God they put the 7th Amendment in there. Well, like I said, the original Bill of Rights, it was like, what, Article 9. But, it was, all you have to do is, they said that if there's a matter of controversy between the parties that's in excess of $20, then you have the right to a trial by jury, and no court in the United States can interfere with that. So there you go. I mean, the government's courts can't intervene with the people's courts. The trial by jury is the people's courts. The United States government, they have their own courts. They have a Supreme Court. That's their court. It's not my court. The Supreme Court of the United States is not the people's courts. It's the government's courts. It's the checks and balances from the two opposing, the powers up there. So people say, well, the United States Supreme Court said this. It's like, lovely. Lovely. Is that the Supreme Court of Mexico, Canada, Finland? Where?
Yeah. Where is it then?
When they say that to me, they ask me IRS questions. I said, oh, that's lovely, Mr. or Mrs. IRS of Mexico or Canada, where? I don't remember ever meeting this Mr. or Mrs. IRS. What are you talking about? Should I care what they're saying to me? Do I know you? They write you a letter, like some lady asked me, wrote this letter. She says, good letter and all. But I was like, whoa, stop. I said, the IRS sent you a letter, right? The IRS, okay. Why didn't you say it back to them as possible? Hello, Mr. or Mrs. IRS. Who are you? And send that. Wait for a response. And why do you people think it all has to be done in one day? It's just an American thing that everybody, it's gotta have it now. If you look back at the letters from a couple hundred years ago, these people were unbelievable. I mean, you could be a shoeshine boy, and the grammar and the words they used was unbelievable in their letter writing. Why can't you guys just say, hey, you know what? I got a letter from the IRS today. What do I do? And everybody panics. I said, write them a letter back. But did your moms and dads not teach you how to write letters back to grandma for mailing you a birthday card with $1 in it? Mm-hmm. Forgot to teach you this. I said, it's simple. Why am I teaching this? Okay, you want to know how to write back? Thank you, Mr. or Mrs. IRS, for that lovely letter. Who are you? And wait for them to respond back. And then when they respond back, they say, oh, thank you for telling me who you are now. Who are you to me? And send it back.
Yeah.
If you want to communicate with me, what makes you think everything I have in my brain is going to spit out on this 1-hour phone call with you guys? It's going to take years. Okay, that's what it takes. How long has it been taking years to learn this law? Okay, it's taking you years. Okay, what makes you think that just because they send you a letter, everything has to be done in 20 seconds? Take your time.
Everybody thinks it went like instant mashed potatoes. Here's a cure for whatever you do.
Right, just take your time. I live on a farm. I plant the spuds in the ground, man. I got to put certain bacteria in the soil so they'll germinate. There's things I got to do. The potato ain't going to come out of a box. I grow them in car ties. I stack them one on top. And that's my style of growing potatoes. It's pretty funny because I have clay here, so I can't really expect them to grow clay. But you get the idea. I don't expect instant magic. I know this is a long process. I mean, I say to people, look, this is your life. It's the only game you've got. It's the only game in town. Take your time. Don't rush. You'll get there. And they're like,
you're on stage, right? You're on stage right then and there.
Yeah, just take your time. But they want to get you into this belief that it's mad rush. Like a bunch of, Japanese packed in a subway car somewhere. No, we'll take your time. We'll get there when we get there. The world's not on fire. We're okay. Just chill. I'm not doing like an Alex Jones or a Rush Limbaugh. We're not going to die. It's all right. Just relax. I've been listening to this world's going to collapse since I've been a little kid. We've been hiding under our desks, from the big ugly Russians. They're just normal, tasty white guys like me. There ain't nobody to be afraid of. They want
I'm not afraid of anything.
No, I'm saying they want to go home to their wife and kids too. So if you see a Russian guy, he just wants to go home to his wife and kids too. He doesn't give a damn what his government's doing. Just like
people don't realize this, but if aliens were to come down here on this planet and they said we're taking over a planet, all the judges and prosecutors are all going to be on our side anyway, or that we're going to be on their side, whatever it takes, you know. So you got to look at it that way, maybe.
There you go. You look at it that way too. It all depends on what's going on. Right now, it's a nice, lovely time for these judges and attorneys, so they're gonna enjoy it as long as they can while they got the power. You know, as soon as people start realizing, like I said, hopefully folks realize what a lovely country we have. And Canada's lucky, and you know, there's a few other countries left in the world that actually believes in common law. And it's not, you guys got it's not it's law. And as I say to people, it's law, common. What type of law? Common to the people. Not common law, because common law is actually like some sort of definitions, like English, and it's got all kinds of rules and all kinds of silly stuff. It's just law. Common. What other kind of law? Law. Traffic. What kind of law? Law. Tax law. Law. What kind of law? Colon. Maritime. Law. What kind of colon? Absolute law. Law. What kind of colon? Natural law. What type of law? Oh, you're talking common law now. Oh, so you're talking about just like the customs of the people that live in society around you. Oh, your neighbors. Oh, what they believe. Oh, common law. Yeah, that common law. Not silly stuff where we do all this tea and crumpet stuff like the English do in their English common law nonsense. You know, it's not like we're going to do a volley over here, like volley back. No, I'm done with this thing in 21 days. I'm done. I make a claim, I'm done. I was like, well, you're supposed to do a rebuttal, and then you're supposed to wait for, a counter rebuttal. It's like, I'm not playing this silly volley nonsense. I'm not a lawyer. This English common law is statute. Just because you don't have numbers, it's written, and there's a certain pattern that you're supposed to follow when you read English common law. So everybody keeps jumping on up and down on me. They say, well, common law is a rigid structure, and there's certain things you have to do and certain things. I said, oh, that's ridiculous. I said, stop it. I said, what you people are thinking about is English common law, and it's just what the lawyers did. They took the customs of the people in England, which was a homogenous race of people. It was smart. They were all basically spoke the same language. And they modified it. And they said, well, this belief up here in Scotland and Ireland and Wales, this is, okay, we're going to mix it all together and we're going to get a pattern that everybody agrees on. And they wrote down a certain set of rules. That's not common law. Well, it's common to them, but it's not common to me. That was what some crazy guys came up with a couple of hundred years ago over there, but God bless them. That was this. That's what they did. That's not what's common to them people. That's right. That's common to them. God bless them. But it has nothing to do with me. So, like I said, that's why I try to get people to relax a little bit, and I think this lady